Sue Kay and Colin McPherson, the two candidates for mayor of Weymouth, faced off Thursday night in a candidates' night at the Weymouth Lodge of Elks.
But immediately, day one, I will look at trying to come up with new economic developments, better sources of revenue, quickly. This has to be done.
I think you have to look at everything. I think the whole budget has to be on the table. Not that I'm saying we'll do that, but you can't just say, we won't touch this because that's that group.
The candidates were quizzed on a variety of issues and tested each other a bit.
What are your positions on benefiting a private developer from the taxpayer funds?
When I was a town councilor, voted against putting the Community Preservation Act on the ballot. Mrs. Kay supported it. I didn't foresee the specific thing happening, but this type of thing happening. And I know Mrs. Kay supports this project. She was on the board that is receiving this, if we're talking about Pond Street.
Ladies and gentlemen, since my colleague's speaking for me, I guess I'll tell you exactly how I feel about it. I agree. The Erector set is a very scary venture. I ride over it. I've heard terrible accidents. Most recently, almost a near death with a motorcycle. The tough thing is, you can't get any answers about it. The state is hedging, and now what I'm hoping is that unfortunately through the disasters going around, and now such a newfound interest in bridges, that we can get our legislators, our state reps, to get on the ball.
I think it's time to, start making some noise and get the state moving. We have to get our state legislators and state senators on board. I know from talking to people up in North Weymouth, they're just outraged that this thing is just languishing. They don't like how it looks. It seems like it's unsafe. I'm hearing things about the bridge that are not encouraging.
It's just a disgrace that it sits there the way it is. Right now, the soil has got to be leveled off. You've got big, huge mounds. There's no need of it looking like the way it is. In addition to that, the weight of that big mound over there, it's too heavy and it's packing down and it's not a good thing. So, number one, we've got to get that soil out of there, level it off. We can grass and seed it. In addition to that, now, the problem with that's probably going to cost about $400,000. In addition to that, the grandstands, they're hazardous. They're hazardous, they're dangerous. We need to get them out of there. Another $400,000, or as is being told by the report that came to the council. In addition to that, we need to shore up that wall, the wall as you come in, that retaining wall. And I believe that's a couple $100,000. I think all told, to do what we need to do immediately is a little over $1 million, 1.4. I'm ready to go out to bond to do that.
Selling dirt to the airbase may be a way of reducing that cost of the fill, removing the fill. Beyond that, I think we need to go, if elected mayor, I think we need to immediately engage the residents and the town council and say, okay, we need to come up with something we all can live with.
I agree that our zoning is much too loose and too many loopholes to allow developers to go into areas where they really shouldn't be. We have rules against pork chop development, and yet they're all over the town. We have zoning bylaws that relieve us from many of the shot put development. We see it every day now, and the reason I think it's happening is because we are 95 to 96% built out. We've heard that, it's true, and we have been. The master plan states we are, and that master plan is almost coming on 10 years now. That being said, we can only be going up high. There's no more room, let's face it.
Thank you. I think, this is the frustration with this topic is out there, and I understand it's out there. It's difficult to get your arms around. I've been talking to people, and every time I talk to someone, it's a slightly different take on the problem. Some people have the problem with the Walgreens up at 53 and Middle. Others have problems with oversized houses and areas that have smaller houses. There's so many different issues kind of embedded in this.
In addition to the mayoral candidates, the 10 candidates for 5 councilor-at-large seats took questions. Weymouth's general election will be held November 6th. For continuing election coverage, visit patriotledger.com. I'm Jack Incanarcio for the Patriot Ledger.